What is happening right now in the United States is causing a lot of people to panic, especially employers. One of the things that we are facing right now is something that we have not seen since the beginning of the pandemic, when people were getting a $600 enhanced unemployment bonus on top of their normal wages. That was huge. People were getting in excess of $1,000 a week. But guess what? Employers now are saying that they are sick of their employees' behavior. I want to explain why. I want to give you a few different situations. Two of these are messages that I've received here on YouTube. The other one is something that I just experienced the other day. Thought this was interesting, but I want to share this with you because this is why employers are not hiring people. This is also why some employees are getting fired. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and why this is going to cause potentially the U.S. economy to collapse within the next year. So again, I'll break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. So why are employers sick of the way employees are behaving? Well, in some cases and in some industries, employees feel that they are, above everybody else. That their time matters more than anybody else. That includes the owner of the company. That includes even the customer. Let me explain this, okay? Listen to this comment. I think this is interesting because this is where, and this is something that we've seen multiple times. I've actually seen this in person. Listen to what this person has to say. It says, and I quote, "Nobody takes pride in their job anymore, and customers are starting to notice this. I've worked in the fast food industry for 15 years, the last 3 of which I have owned a Dairy Queen, and I'm seeing things I've never seen before. Recently, I walked into my franchise and noticed a line of 3 to 4 customers waiting outside. This is somewhat unreal. This was around 6 p.m. I noticed in the corner 2 of my employees are sitting down having a meal together. Turns out, one employee was on their lunch break and the other employee had just taken their 15-minute break, so nobody was manning the counter. Turns out the lunch break and 15-minute break overlapped by about 5 minutes, and they didn't think it was going to be a problem. Having customers wait 5 minutes while employees finish their break is a problem in my eyes. They could have just waited to take break until the other employee was back on duty." Now, I've actually seen this happen before where I went into it was like a cafe or whatever, and it wasn't at a normal time. It wasn't like breakfast or lunch or dinner, right? It was in one of those off-peak times. But the employees were all sitting in the corner. And one of them, I could kind of overhear him, was talking about, "Well, no, I'm still on break. I don't get off break for another 2-3 minutes, whatever." The other one's like, "Well, we're on lunch," or "I haven't clocked in yet," all this stuff. The person that actually came up to help me was the one that actually didn't clock in, that was not yet able to clock in. But again, I was standing at their counter. But this is one of the things that we've seen is that you go into a business and some employees, and this isn't everywhere, but this is one of the reasons why some people are finding it very difficult to go and hire somebody. Because why am I going to hire somebody that they might not even do a good job? Why are they unemployed? What was the reason that they lost or left their last job? Was it on their terms, or did their employer let them go? Well, this is something that we're seeing more and more. But listen to this one. This is what this person has to say. And I quote, "Is it just me, or are workers getting lazier by the day? Let me explain why. I work on the 18th floor of my company, and I work on the 18th floor at my company, and every day I'm supposed to get papers to sign for specific departments. But lately, I don't get them hand delivered to me by the department supervisors like they used to. Lately, I see that the papers are placed on my desk by the mailroom staff. When I asked the supervisors why this is happening, they said it's just less work for them to wait for the mail rep and have them deliver the papers than for them to go all the way up and take 5 minutes out of their day. Here's the thing I've seen before. In certain companies, yes, you take your paperwork, whatever, that maybe you need it signed daily, but you give it to your supervisor, they sign it, they check off, there's checks and balances there. But one of the things I've seen lately is some people are just taking a picture. They just take a picture with their phone, send it to their supervisor, and hope the supervisor can okay it. Then if they do, then later on in the day, they'll get the signature. Okay? Now, for some companies it works, others it doesn't. But here's the thing that I take away from this, specifically this story. I don't know where these supervisors are at. The person says he works on the 18th floor. I don't know if this is the top of the building, whatever. But if you are getting papers, let's say you're on the 3rd floor, okay, 4th floor. If you need something from the 4th floor and the supervisor gives it to the mail person, what do they call it, the mail rep. If you give it to the mail rep, they go up every single floor, right? They go up the elevator, hand deliver all the mail, whatever, get all the way up to the 18th floor, hand the supervisor the paperwork to sign, then they got to take it back downstairs. This could take hours. This could literally take all day. And what if it's something that is urgent? Right? This is why employers are getting sick of the way employees are behaving. Because years ago, the employers didn't have any power. The employee had all the power. This is what we saw. Now, this is flipped, where the employer has more power than the employee. But the employee is not actually, open to that idea, isn't really feeling it. So they're still trying to push back. But this is also why some companies are letting go of their workers, because they're not really working. They're just there. Listen to this one. This is something that I experienced just the other day. Now, I was recently at a shopping center, and I saw a little sign in the window, well, in multiple windows. It was an outdoor, an open air shopping center. But I saw this in one window that this company, I'm not going to say the name of the company or even the shopping center, but this one company had a sign in the window saying that they were closed between, I think it was 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. or 4 p.m. Something like that. They're closed in the middle of the day. Peak shopping time on a weekend, in my opinion, but they're closed for a few hours in the middle of the day. The reason why, they had a shortage of workers. Well, a few doors down, their next door was like a barber shop, and then a few doors down was another store. This is what the sign said, and I quote, "Out on break. If you want to shop, please come get me at blank's barber shop next door. Getting haircut between 1 p.m. and 1:30 p.m." So this store that, and I didn't try to open the door. I don't know if it was open. I guess it wasn't, but it said, "If you want to shop, please come get me at blank's barbershop." So if you want to shop in that specific store, come get the worker because they are getting their hair cut. Interesting. That's very, very interesting. Now, I don't know if that's the owner of the store. I don't know if that's just an employee, but this is one of the reasons why some people are getting sick of going out there and trying to shop or do anything. Because the employee is not really doing their job like they used to. Now, this is not the case for everybody. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. He's a delivery driver. And he takes he's only a local delivery driver, but he tries to take the fastest route and take stuff from, and he does like medical, things and supplies and whatever. And so he tries to take the fastest route and get from one location to the next as quickly as possible. But here's what he thought was interesting. That when he would pick up an order, he'd have to get it signed. He'd lock the contents in a box. The paper would go over it, taped up, everything. Everything had a certain process. Well, when he'd get to the end customer and he deliver the product, what he's noticed lately is it's not even the supervisor or the manager that's there to accept it. It's just some random person in the building, and they grab the paperwork off the box, he unlocks it, does all that stuff, and then they take it and then they tell them, oh, just wait here, I'm gonna get the supervisor to sign it. Well, sometimes it takes 5, 10, 15 minutes before the supervisor comes down to sign the paperwork that yes, it was delivered. But at that time, the product is already gone because they needed it. And so this is what I think is interesting is, again, some people are going to value your time, some people won't. But the reason why I bring all this up is because I was talking to another friend of mine who does own a business, and he was saying he's not hiring any new people. He will not hire anybody new. And he's not even looking because he understands where things have gone now. He's looking at more using AI to do more of the work, robots, because he says that is the only way that you can ensure that the job is going to get done right, not by hiring actual people. So I don't know which way we go moving forward. All I can tell you right now is it will be a very interesting situation in the next 6, 12 months, or even 2 years. So we'll see what happens moving forward. But the one thing I can tell you, and the only thing I can promise you, is I will be here every step of the way, and I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.